Hello everybody, welcome to my first YouTube video. And I know what you're thinking. On the screen it says round 8, Spain. That would be because I completely butchered all of my recordings for the first 7 races. I know, not the best start to your YouTube career, is it? So, hopefully this is the first video that goes out of the Haas career mode. We're trying to rebuild Haas as a South African driver called Jordan Varsandi. Currently doing pretty well. 27 points from the first 7 races. I believe my teammate is on 2, yet he's on 2 points. So 25 points ahead of our teammate after 7 rounds, I think is pretty decent for your first season. So let's hope that we can continue our hot vein of form into Spain and to Canada and Austria. Yeah, we were hitting all 3 practice sessions, trying to make sure we can maximise the car and get the right setup sorted out for the race, because it is wet, as you can see. I'm not sure if that's going to be inters, full wets, or just a bit damp, but I'm going to head into qualifying now, see what sort of times we can set. Yeah, and as you can see here in Barcelona, it is sunny. It looks warm. Track is going to be warm. It's going to be softs all the way through the session, and I'm hoping we can set some good times on the board. So now we're heading out on our first out lap of the session. I did my practice sessions I'd say probably about an hour ago. Well, an hour prior to doing qualifying and recording it. So still going to try and get used to it. Get used to the layout of the track again. Find the braking points on this first out lap. Turn 3 is pretty easy. There's not really a braking point for it. Turn 4, you just brake a little bit before you have to start turning. It's normally pretty easy corners. For turn 5, braking out of 50 zone. Trying to get a good exit. Just make the run down towards turn 6. Sharp left-hander here. And then turn 7 is pretty easy. Turn 8, we are taking flat out round the right-hander. Open DRS. When we're on the fast lap, we'll open DRS, but we're still on the out lap here. And it's braking nice and early, get the car turned round and accelerating up the hill. Back up, 3. Triple right-hander now. 3 fast corners. Final corner, slight lift. And then flat out. Opening DRS, make sure we get a good run for our first lap now. Heading off down towards the first corner. Nice on the brake. We do run a little bit wide there. Turn 2 we get pretty well. Turn 3. Yeah, we're nice and solid through turn 3. Gotta keep the car wide for turn 4. Turned a little bit early, but hit the apex. Then we almost drifted a little bit too wide, brake out 50 to turn 4. Turn 5, sorry. Drift the car out wide, getting ready for turn 6, braking, sliding the car, we go to a bit wide and a bit too short there. Turn 8, a bit wide at turn 8 as well, to be fair. DRS open nice and early. On the run down towards turn 9, sharp left-hander. Got to make sure that car rotates around, which it does nicely. And now for the triple right-hander. Get a good exit on the first corner. We've got to get a good line through the second. Not too much curb like we just did. Give in a lift. Run a little bit wide. Now to the line. A 1:13.525. 4th fastest. It's not a bad first lap, to be honest with you. We can go a lot quicker. You see the mistakes we made on the first laps. Now we enter the pits for the change of tyre and the change of fuel load. We were running quite high fuel load. As you can see, we've got 9.54 laps of fuel in the tank still remaining, so we're going to pit and go for the low fuel run for our second lap and see how much we can improve by. Yes, we were running 20 kilos worth of fuel for that first run. We're going to run 10 kilos now for our second at the end of the session. See how much we can improve by. See the minute, 10th fastest. And my teammate is almost 6 tenths behind me. Doing a 1:14.1. See how much we can improve by on our second lap now.
Check's complete. Everyone be aware, we've got a car leaving the garage.
So here we go now in the final run of Q2, round the penultimate corner. Can we get a good exit on the final corner? No, we went a little bit wide. Get DRS open, a little bit wide, that's going to lose a bit of time. You can see we are just losing time down this straight. It's going to be 8 tenths down, 8 100ths down as we go into the first braking zone. Good. We've made up a lot of time already compared to our first run. We lost some time going from turn 3 to turn 4 now. Nice on the brakes. Car sticking, listening, a little bit on the grass, snap of oversteers to come back on the track. And now wide again at turn 5. As we go towards turn 6, 3 tenths down at the minute. But we're good, we're clean through turn 6 and 7. Gaining time up the hill. Turn 8. It's lovely through turn 8. DOS open early. And we're back in the greens. You love to see it. Losing a bit of time, but we're gaining it back on the exit. Car turned lovely. Car is on rails in this part of the track. Now the triple right hand of the first one. Gaining time. Second one. Cut over a bit too much on the curb. Losing a bit of time. And then we hit the grass slightly. A loss of time, but it's gained us a load of time overall. Purple third sector. That'll put us safely through in 6th. It's a lovely start to qualifying here at Barcelona. Here we are now on our Q2 run. On the medium compound tyre, doing very low fuel amount, 5 kilos worth, enough at just under 3 laps. We are going to go again at the end of the session on the softs and hope and pray to get through. But it's going to be difficult. The car doesn't feel amazing around here. Other cars look very quick as well. Turn 6 and 7, we nail. 7 a bit. 8, turn 8, brilliant around turn 8, DRS flap open. Heading off now down towards the last left-hander. Well, second last if you call this one as well. I think it's all one corner, but now the triple right-handers to go. Lose a little bit of grip on the exit of the first. Lose a little bit downforce going over that curb. Around the final corner, it looks pretty decent so far. Carlos Sainz with a 1:12.6. We go over a 13.5. But that would be my only time in Q2, as my run on the softs at the end got invalidated for track limits.
So many eventful races here in Barcelona over the years. Do you remember Max Verstappen's first win on debut for Red Bull here in 2016? 2 years before, we had the dramatic coming together of Hamilton and Rosberg going towards turn 4. There's always a treat in store as we head back to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya for the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and we welcome the removal of the chicane in the final sector, shortening lap times and reducing the total running to 2.9 miles and 14 turns. This was actually the original setup for the track, but it hasn't been used since 2007. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. What a qualifying yesterday for George Russell. He'll start today's race from pole position. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Joe, Gasly, Varsandi, Stroll, Ricciardo, Ocon, Tsunoda, Albon, Hülkenberg, and Logan Sargent. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Natalie Pinkham, good to have you with us here today. Your thoughts?
Well, first and foremost, I'm looking forward to staying dry here in the commentary box. Thank goodness. The rain, though, does add an extra level of spice, doesn't it?
So yeah, qualifying ended with me being P13 after invalidating on my final run. If you have a look at the strategy, there's not much of a difference in the times. Mediums hard is a tenth quicker. As we changed the fuel earlier, it stays a tenth quicker. So I'm guessing because it gave me the hards to soft first, everyone else ahead of me will be on hards, and they are. Everyone around me on the hard compound of tyre while I am on the mediums. Outlap, successful trying to learn the track.
Superb parking there,
Gasly,
mate.
Joe,
Let's make sure we
Bottas,
get
and I
the
think
edge on the
Fernando
surrounding
Alonso
drivers
is
as the
in
lights go out.
9th, ahead of Bottas. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. They're out and away we go here. We get a brilliant start there. Bottas, Alonso, Joe get awful starts. Piastri, Perez and Norris a bit slower for line as well. We're up to 9th at the minute. We're going to look to send it down the outside of Piastri. Perez is slow as well. We go around the outside of Sergio Perez. But he will have the fast line out of turn 2. And he will be on the inside of turn 3. And we have to lift because of the wet. We can't make it round the corner in time. And Piastri gets a better run on us. And he will go down the inside into turn 4. And that'll be the running order for me now. P9. From 13th up to P9.
Right, we've got a very
brilliant start.
MG UK.
Not with battery usage either. We're ahead of Bottas, which is key.
We could be forced to...
So let's have a look at the replay from George Russell then. Obviously 5 red lights that they go out. It's an awfully slow start from him, Verstappen and Leclerc. Hamilton and Sainz flying off into the lead. You can see myself in the background about to send it down the inside there. And the outside, sorry, there we go, around. Russell drops to 3rd off the lead, so now we go round turn 3. Hamilton leads Sainz, Russell, Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Perez, myself, but I'm about to get overtaken by Oscar Piastri, who is up into 8th, and I'm down to 9th. It's a brilliant start from myself, Hamilton and Carlos Sainz. Alonso down to 13th, on board with Carlos Sainz. You can see Russell holding up Verstappen, and Hamilton and Carlos Sainz just absolutely fly off into the distance now. Lap 2, not much has changed. We're just trying to stick behind Piastri, trying to get that DRS so it can drag us along.
We've got a lot of spare energy.
Trying to make sure we hit all of our braking points and not to use too much ERS, while also trying to close up that gap and pull away from Valtteri, Bottas and Pierre Gasly behind us. See right now the gap is in between 8/10 and 9/10 of a second, as we've got a lap until we get the first bit of DRS. into the braking zone of turn 10.
The energy
Got to try and stick with them. Bit of oversteer there on the exit. Trying to keep it clean though. 9/10 of a second, 8/10 of a second out of gap, but it's slowly changing around. Putting a bit of time on Valtteri Bottas behind us as well, as the times forward and backwards are both pretty much identical. Max Verstappen with the fastest lap now.
Okay, DRS will
He's
be
making
enabled
amends
this lap. You can use
from
it
that
when you're
first
within
lap.
1 second of the car
He's been
ahead and in the
stuck
DRS zone.
behind George Russell. Now into turn 1 we go. That gap staying below a second, and we've put a bit of time on Valtteri Bottas actually. He's outside of DRS as it stands at the minute, but we get a little bit crossed up on the exit on the end of turn 3 and bringing back into it. Now we're losing time as well to Oscar Piastri ahead. We're going to use a little bit of battery on the exit of this corner here just to try and stay within the 1 second, as it's currently at 8/10. Valtteri Bottas behind will get DRS as he's within that 1 second, and we'll also get DRS on Piastri ahead. And now look to close in on the front runners. Bit of a gap forming behind Pierre Gasly as well. He's pulled away from the Aston Martin. So now we are losing time slowly to Piastri as he's pulled over that second margin already. But good news for me, I've pulled ahead of Valtteri Bottas as well. Carlos Sainz sets the fastest lap. As you can see on the mini map, he is pulled right ahead of Verstappen in second. Guessing Hamilton is third and not Russell, fourth. On to lap 6 now. I'm a bit confused
Light
on
rain will stay with
when
us
to
for at
pit.
least
My pit
20
window is
minutes,
lap
maybe
8,
more. Light
end of
rain
lap
is here
8.
to stay. Okay, dry seem like the
We're on
best
lap
tyre
7
for
now. Just asking about whether they think changing over to the Inters would be a good call, and they still think that the slicks is the best run to the end.
Understood. Stopping this
So
lap.
made the decision to box this lap to try and undercut the cars behind, because Alonso, he is catching quickly. He has been very quick at the end of this first stint on those hards, making amends from that poor start from him being down in 13th, back up to 10th now. So we want to try and undercut them to pull away even more. We're going to keep an eye on the time to him as we make a bit of a mistake there. And now the gap is 6/10.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 6.1 seconds.
Loss of traction on the exit there. And he's gaining even more time. He's got it down to under half a second now. Right the curb for some reason there. Not sure what we're doing. And now the gap is under 2/10. The gap as we enter the pits is 1.5 tenths. So we'll have a look at that. It's when they pit. Enter the pits. No penalty, which is always good. Gonna try and get a green or purple turn in. Purple, that's ideal. Let's try and make sure we hit the clutch properly.
Okay, mate, that's it.
That's a good stop
Go,
from
go,
the team.
That was a fantastic
We've got the
stop.
fresh
Faster
softs
than we were expecting.
Good.
Look after
Come
these
out right
tyres now. We want to finish the race on this
pull away.
compound.
From Fernando Alonso. As we come round the final few corners of lap 8, I can see on the mini map that Fernando Alonso has pit, and you can see it on the timing screen in the top left. Purple sector 3, and you can see Fernando Alonso just leaving the pits now. The gap, as I pitted, 1.5 tenths. The gap now is growing now. 6 tenths, 8 tenths, 9 tenths, over a second now, 1.1. Gained a second by the undercut strategy, but he's going to be quick. Going on to lap 10 now. Fernando Alonso closing in on me. As I go into turn 1, gap is just under 7 tenths. Everyone else has just pitted. We're sitting 9th. Everyone has made their pit stops now. Fernando's really closing in on me now, 4 tenths the gap. Yeah, Gasly's just put
Okay,
onto some
here's the
fresh
gap that
soft.
we're trailing the
He's
car
got
ahead
2
by.
lap fresh
3.6
soft
seconds.
tyres than me. He's going to be quicker than me. He's going to start reeling me in pretty quickly. You'd think. Especially if I'm having to fight Fernando as well. So I'll get a snap of oversteer. And Fernando Alonso's ahead before the DRS zone that's coming up. It's not what we wanted. We have to try and stick with him now. Use DRS to drag me along. Or try and re-overtake. He gets a way better exit out of that corner though. DRS open. We're going to try and save some battery for later on. In the race when I need to fight Pierre. See the gap 3.4. Get some oversteer there. That's not what was good. We're having to try to stick with him here now. There's no way we're going to make an overtake. Down into turn 1. Max Verstappen says the fastest lap. He's already pulled 7/10 on me. Who gets a better exit here? He gets a way better exit yet again. Battery and DRS active, and we're just not gaining as much as we need. Oh, mistake there from us is poor. And another mistake, and he pulls away, and he's out of DRS already. On to lap 13 now, we go on board with Max Verstappen. He's got a nice little lead out to Carlos Sainz. Charles Leclerc. Oh yeah, as we look back, we can just see them going around the first 2 corners. Got about 2-second lead to them. Started 3rd, dropped to 4th from the start. Not what he wants when he's chasing down his teammate, who's currently 6th. That's exactly the plan he wants while he's 1st. His teammate 6th, but he's losing the back end and he's fully lost it. Max Verstappen has spun it out on turn 4 on lap 13 out of 17. 4 laps to go after this one. And he just loses it, fully spins it. He will drop behind his teammate now. That's not ideal. On to lap 15 we go now. Sandy on the inside. Gasly on the outside. I'm going to send it down the inside though to keep 10th place from Gasly. Lance Stroll licking his lips at this. Battle for 10th is on. Valtteri Bottas is thinking, oh, can I get involved in this as well? He's not too far behind. Gasly going to send up the inside on turn 4. This is wheel-to-wheel racing at its finest. Gasly on that line. He will have the outside line though for turn 5. I've lost traction on the exit. Gasly's got the way better exit than me. But he's going to go the inside though for turn 6. Which compromises him going up the hill. As we stick right behind him, we will have DRS. And we've got 11% battery to use. DRS flap open, battery open. Gasly goes to the inside. We're going to go around the outside here. A little bit of contact. A little bit of a love tap. We get the oversteer yet again on that corner. But we've got a better line going up the hill on the racing line. And Gasly is behind us. Stroll's ahead of Gasly now. As I look at the mini-map, we're drifting around the penultimate corner. Stroll up to 11th. But we're all going to fight heading into the final corner. We stayed ahead. Gasly's trying to go around the outside now at turn 4. We've learnt our lesson. Hug the inside line at turn 4. Got a close battle on the last 2 laps. For the final point, we look at the mini-map. Bottas is right up there as well. So's a Williams. There's so many cars joined up behind them now. This is brilliant battling. Round turn 9 they go. Gasly, can you get anywhere near him with DRS? No, but I myself got a very good exit. Got to make sure. Yeah, a little bit oversteer yet again and again. So we check the tyres. Yeah, 40% of 37. It's just gone up to 41 the rear left. Tyres starting to go. We go around the last 2 corners.
Okay,
as we now start the final lap. Carlos Sainz miles in the lead. Followed by Hamilton, Leclerc and Russell. It's Gasly and Stroll are going to go round the outside here. Gasly's ahead, Lance is ahead. I'm back down the inside there, sending it from deep. Keep in position. Stroll up to 11th. Gasly down to 12th. I stay 10th. This is a brilliant end to a brilliant Grand Prix. Battle for 10th still on. Around turn 4 they go. Or as I go a little bit deeper at turn 5. Trying to get a good line. Little kink of turn 6. Heavy on the brakes into turn 7. Flat out up the hill turn 8. Turn 9. It's going to be tricky now. As he takes it well. Can Lance Stroll get anywhere near him with DRS? He's got a good exit though. Both of them got a good exit. Down into the corner they go. I'm on the inside line. Shut the door on Lance Stroll. And it's looking like P10 is comfortable for me. Yeah, Carlos Sainz won the Grand Prix. Hamilton was second. Leclerc third. Russell fourth. Round the final corner I go now. Stroll 4/10 behind me. Gap is growing. We're going to take the checkered flag. We're going to take P10 and a solid point.
Okay, pick up rubber.
It's a really good result. 10th place. After qualifying 13th. But driver of the day goes nicely with a point.
See that red suit, familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari, do it again.
So, after all of that, Sainz, Hamilton, Leclerc on the podium, Russell, Perez finishing ahead of his teammate Verstappen, Piastri, Norris, Verstappen, Alonso, and then myself taking the last points position. My teammate Nico Hulkenberg finishing 20th behind Logan Sargent, who he qualified ahead of. Looking at the driver standings, Perez leads Hamilton by a point, who leads Verstappen by a point, Russell 4th, Leclerc 5th, Carlos Sainz 6th, Lando Norris 7th, Piastri 8th, Fernando Alonso 9th, and myself is in 10th. My teammate on 2 points so far, 18th. We look at the constructors. We sit 30 points comfortably in 6th place, 13 ahead of AlphaTauri, which is really good for us. Now we're looking at R&D points for the next race. We've already spent them all, rushing in a few upgrades. We've got quite a few upgrades coming in beforehand if we can get them all successful. So we can see, we get the wing mirrors sorted out, which is good. Plank as well comes through. We get more weekly resources, which we're going to spend. I'm trying to get another upgrade in before the race, but unfortunately, it won't come in. It won't come in time for the race. It'll come in time for Austria though, which is it's not bad, but you get the upgrade guaranteed. We still have a couple more things left, and if we can get the energy cells, which we don't, that's annoying, because we would have been higher than Alpine on the chassis side, which is quite important because they are going to come through later in the season and be a quick car and fight against us for 6th place. But anyway, thank you all for watching my video. If you did like it, please like and subscribe and turn notifications on so you can see when I next upload. Next race is at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada. Thank you all and goodbye.